It's about that time to talk about Power, the Power Show hosted by Demetrius, aka No Time to Waste. So, I still got my Bronco County Cup. We sucked this year, but we ain't talking about that. What we are talking about is this Henny White, sponsored by Hennessy White. Live bold. Nah, I don't think that's their slogan, but we ain't talking about that either. We talking about Power. Talking about Power, produced by 50 Cent, and it's a great show. So I'm not right into it. Season 1, episode 1. If you've seen the announcement, you already know what it is. Season 1, episode 1 is where we're starting at, and it's a recap. We start off meeting Ghost and Tasha, two married couples that look to be well off. They got a nice penthouse. They own a club, and that's not all they do. That's not all that they do. So one of the very first scenes, we see Ghost, main character, Ghost, get called down to the bottom of the club, to the basement of the club. One of his workers needed him. He goes down there. He sees that his partner, Tommy, my favorite character, Tommy has this man, this thief, and this woman, his wife, the thief's wife, hemmed up, tied up, and basically torturing him. And Ghost gets down there. He figures out what's going on. Apparently, Ghost's organization got robbed that night, and he was the main person that did it. He also clipped one of their co-workers too, so it wasn't going to end well for him. So basically, Ghost sent a lady home, and that's key. Like, that's a key thing. The wife that he sent home is very key. So if you watch Power, you know why it's key. But just keep that in mind. That very first scene, keep that in mind. Sends her home and ultimately kills the dude. Kills the dude because he didn't tell him who hired him to go ahead and rob him. So kills him. So there we get a sense of what this club owner family man is really, really about. Kills a man in his own club and goes back to the club to host it. That's like me whacking somebody and I come over here and host this show talking about, same thing, just think of it like that. So we find out who he really is. We also find out why he actually has the club. He got the club because his dad had a club. And we find out a little bit more about Tommy, his partner. Tommy, the childhood friends. They've been through the trenches together. That's his right hand. So they buddies. They friends. They best friends. So we get to learn a little bit about him, and those are the main two characters that are doing all this craziness. With that being said, we also start to realize that Ghost does not really want to do this anymore. He doesn't want to be the drug dealer man that he is anymore. He seems to be very content with just being a club owner and making sure that works properly. And a couple times in season 1, episode 1, they did talk about Tommy questioned him wanting to get out the game, and his wife Tasha also questioned him to get out the game. He actually asked his wife Tasha, what did you see me being? And she told him the best soundbite in TV, the biggest goddamn drug dealer in New York City. So Ghost clearly, you can tell Ghost clearly wants to make moves. He really clearly wants to make changes and clearly wants to do something different. But shoot, what they say, he knee deep in it. He can't really move. He knee deep into quicksand and can't really get out. So the next plan for them is to try to find out who's robbing them. Another thing I really love about Power is we see the ecosystem of the drug game and how it works. Ghost and Tommy literally just made a call and shut everything down. Everything got shut down. Then you could have had drugs in one hand and getting the money from the other hand. If they got that text to shut it all down, it's all shut down. So it's great to see that. It's great to see that there's just more than just them two in regards to just that whole ecosystem. I never really was out there like that selling drugs at all. So I don't know how that works. So it was amazing to me to see that that's like the inner lining of it. So it's a crazy ecosystem. Ghost understands what it needs to take to get money filtered in the legal way. And if we roll into the next day, he has to go back there. He has to work. They have to pay the actual plug still. And they pay the plug. The plug already knew that they got robbed. So that's a whole story in itself. We meet the plug, Lobos, who's a crazy, and I use that very directly. He's a very crazy man. So we meet him. They go on about their day. The next night, Ghost, he meets a high school sweetheart. He sees a high school sweetheart, and they rekindle, they talk in the club or whatnot. they haven't met in 18 years. Her name is Angela. She's the main character too. So he meets Angela. He sees Angela, gets her number, but his wife sees him do it too, and she's mad. She tight. She leaves the club and goes home, and she gives the driver a little striptease because I guess she felt that that was the best thing to do at that moment. I'm not quite sure. That was like her payback, but yeah, she did that, and that was just a tell that like she don't give a fuck either, and like she will, do what she needed to do as a woman to feel good. And she kind of felt like Ghost wasn't doing that with her, that scene. But anyway, Ghost sees his sweetheart. He gets her number. They end up going on a date. Come to find out, she don't tell him, but she's a lawyer for the feds. And they are looking for the connect. And if you follow me, Lobos is the plug, Ghost is the connect, Angela is the lady who trying to arrest the plug. And she needs to do that by fucking with the connect. So at this very moment, Ghost don't know that she's a cop. She don't know that they the plug. They just Googled eyes for one another and just like, oh, I ain't seen you 18 years. Oh, shoot, I can imagine myself spanking it now. Like, shit like that. So that's the cool dynamic right now. These two lovers rekindle, and they work on two different spectrums in the working field, where Ghost is a hustler, she knocks hustlers. So it's pretty crazy. And what else? That's pretty much it. So we leave on a slight cliffhanger. We actually, this is what I'll leave you with. We find out who's robbing Ghost and Tommy. We find out who's robbing Ghost and Tommy. Right now, I'm just telling you this. If you're new and you're just watching and you like spoilers, it's a girl in pink shoes. A girl in pink shoes matters a lot in this season. Yes, it does. But with that being said, that's season 1, episode 1 of Power. Tomorrow we'll do season 2, tomorrow we'll do episode 2 of season 1. We'll do that tomorrow. It'll be a post around the same time. So if you like Power, if you're catching up like me, shoot a comment. If you like Power and you just seen that I'm doing some things with Power, double tap, tag 50 Cent, tag Courtney in it for me. Whatever, I'm a Power fanatic. So this is why you guys are getting this content. With all that being said, today's my unbirthday today, so wish me happy unbirthday. And follow me on Instagram, No Time to Waste 7. Peace and love.